In your piece, Left and Leaning, you talk a lot about repetition and pauses and how you were playing with that.
Mm-hmm.
How did that inform your process?
The process, it informed the process quite a bit. What I did for this piece is I created this very long phrase, and the movement had one rule when I was making it, which it would never stop moving. So Left and Leaving kind of evolved into what it is. I didn't go into the process kind of thinking I would work with like repetition and pauses and continuous movement. It just kind of happened that way because after we created the movement and we saw what we had to work with, we realized that this piece was just about transitions and change. And so we put the pauses in there just to take a little break, not necessarily for the dancers, but for the audience members to be like, whoa, okay, let's re-hone in. Let's take a little break for our minds and then get back into it. And then the repetition is there because of this idea of just kind of rehabitually staying in the same pattern for a while until something triggers another move. So it's this idea of what instigates a change, what instigates a transition. So that's where the repetitions and pauses and everything came into, is just a matter of like, what does the audience need right now? Okay. I think constant movement would have been way too much.
Okay. Did I call it Left and Leaning? I think
You
I
did.
Left and Leaving.
That's okay. That's totally fine.
Okay, Left and Leaving. Okay.
I kind of like Left and Leaning a lot too. It would work either way.
Okay. All right. Anyways, the music that you have in the work, are they music that like you relate to personally, or did they inspire the exploration of repetition and pauses, or what was their relationship to the work?
The music, funny enough, one of them is composed by my fiance Dave.
Oh, okay.
But we didn't create it to that work. We created it to this, and I do this quite a bit when I'm working, is I'll start with a piece of music that I have no desire in using for the final product, but I do like the kind of mood or atmosphere or beat that it creates, or the melody that gives me something to kind of play with. So we actually started using an Animal Collective song, and we choreographed to this Animal Collective song. And then Dave created something that had to do with time, like this constant like beat of a clock. And so it has no rhythm, but we have that rhythm already ingrained in us because we were rehearsing and created it to a specific beat, if that makes sense. So Dave created the song specifically for Left and Leaving and the whole theme of change in time and pause and stuff like that. And then the second song is a Beirut song. And I typically never use songs with lyrics. So this is kind of new for me, having a piece that kind of describes this story, and it's a really abstract story, so there's really nothing to get out of it. But what I liked about this song is that there's this idea of like, or they're talking about constantly or never coming back. This idea of like, she never came back home. So it's about someone who's like left and gone. So I thought it was a perfect way to end the piece.
The set design. Can you talk a little bit about that?
Sure. So we project an image of this barren tree that is right at the outside of this ocean. And it's just there the entire time. It's like a backdrop. And I put that image in about a week before we originally performed it. I knew I wanted something back there. I thought I wanted a video, but a video was just too much, especially since we're moving so much. And this picture was taken by a friend of mine, Bill Webb, who does tech design and lighting design at Elon. And it just creates this image of looking out into nothingness, and so or into everythingness at the same time. So there's nothing there, but then there's everything. And it's something, that image there is something for us to keep coming back to and then keep coming away from. So I was thinking about actually not using that image, but I don't think the piece would work without it.
Okay. You just recently had a performance with your own company.
Yes.
How was that experience?
It was phenomenal. I loved every minute of it. It was our first evening length as a codified company. It's Renay Aumiller Dances, but we just call it RAD. And we did this piece that we've been working on for 9 months, and it's called Pretty Ugly, and it's a 50-minute work, and it really kind of explores these ideas of what is beauty, and then what is unfamiliar movement and ugly, and how can they kind of fuse together to create a really interesting and unique experience as you view it. And yeah, we got some exciting, it was just exciting. All these people, we had a great turnout, and we have some opportunities to perform it again in the 13-14 year. And I don't know, I think it's really exciting to have this like codified group that I work really well with and that I'm friends with, and to keep on moving and to keep on creating is just an exciting thing. And then here in North Carolina, in Durham, it's just, I couldn't ask for any better circumstance than this.
What do you like most about the triangle dance community?
What I love about, I can speak best about Durham because I live in Durham. What I love best about it is the support by the other members of the dance community. What's very unique about this place, about Durham, is that, or the Triangle in general, is my friends are creating work as well. And so we support each other in the sense that they'll dance for me, I'll dance for them, and we'll go to each other's performances, and then this person is dancing for like 4 other people in the community. And instead of being isolated and feeling really like alone in your process and this competitiveness, which always exists, but here and right now, it's just a lively like experience. There's a lot of people moving back to the area who are really incredible creators and incredible movers. And then just to have each other's support is, I think, crucial. So people will come and give me feedback on my process. You know, no questions asked. They come in and will just, you know, on their own time, give me their time and give me their thoughts. And then I do the same thing for them. So it's kind of this even trade that I think is really cool.
Okay. If you had to pick your favorite all-time dance artist or company, who would it be?
That might be the hardest question.
I
know. Ooh, it's also the most exciting. I think I don't have an absolute favorite dance artist, but I have several, and for different reasons. I love the mind of Terry O'Connor and John Jaspers and Meg Stewart. I think they are incredible thinkers, and their way to translate their thoughts into movement or their movement into thoughts, you know, vice versa, is just I'm in constant awe of. And I think as far as like pure eye candy, something I just would watch for days on end. Vertigo Dance Company from Israel. Oh my gosh.
They're amazing.
Oh, they're beautiful.
Yeah.
And also well crafted. And the Netherlands Dance Theater is another one where I could watch them for days, and they have the whole package. So they're incredible performers. They have incredible choreography. It's well crafted. And then the stage design is just out of this world. So those aren't all of my favorites, but those are the first ones that come to mind.
So what do you do when you're not dancing, teaching, choreographing?
I don't know. Well, dancing and teaching and choreographing take up most of my time. I would ask for like no other life than that. It's kind of the life I always wanted. But I guess right now weddings consuming my time. And then I do try to get in some yoga classes for myself so I can decompress and be like, what is, going on, and have somebody else tell me what to do. And playing with, my dog Barbara. Or in the car, traveling to and from, like, which place I'm going to teach. That's about it.
If you had to give any advice to a young choreographer, like one tidbit, what would it be?
One tidbit. Okay, I'll try to give one tidbit.
You can give more than one tidbit.
Okay, for a budding choreographer, I can give you, from my own experience, the first and hardest thing is to just start creating. It's like that scary place of knowing you want to create choreography, but not knowing the means or how or where to do it. All those things are kind of secondary and will happen if you just like put it out there and gather a group of people together that are willing to work with you. So the first and hardest step is saying it and getting a group of people together who are going to be more than willing to work with you. But I think finding a space and where even to perform it, because that can be hard. The venues here in the Triangle, while there are venues, can be kind of hard to find. Like there's only a handful of them that, have this like black box, dancer-friendly floor feeling to them. But just, putting it out into the world that you're going to create something, everything else will kind of fall into place. And to never stop. So even if you come up against like blocks and, walls, those are inevitable. You're going to find those walls, whether or not you get into this festival or whether or not you get this grant or... it doesn't matter like how established you are as a choreographer, you're going to get rejections, and it's just a part of the thing. So I think as a new choreographer, the most exciting and important thing to remember is that even though you do come up against those walls and people tell you you're not right for this, that shouldn't be enough for you to stop working and to keep working, because there's always going to be an audience for your piece, for your work, for your thoughts.